Hello everyone, myself Lakshya Sharma, and my topic for presentation is diffraction limited optics giving submicron resolution for single ion imaging. So to start with, we are basically working on developing an optical frequency standard based on single ytterbium ion. So this is the overall this schematic. It shows the overall protocol of the experiment of our experiment. So a total of 5 lasers will be required for different reasons, basically like for photoionization, for cooling the laser, for final probing of the clock transition, and this is the relevant energy level diagram. So how in an atomic clock experiment this picture of imaging system comes in. So basically we are talking of a single trap time. So in this case, in a single trap diode, the level of fluorescence, that is, the fluorescence is induced by the cooling laser. In our case, it is 369 nanometer laser. So with the help of that, fluorescence will be detecting the ion. But in order to detect such a low level of fluorescence, a very efficient very efficient photon collecting system is required. So in that case, this high resolution imaging system will come into picture. And also, once the experiment is set up, like the ion has been trapped, for various other purposes also, like for techniques, spectroscopy techniques like electron shelving spectroscopy, and again, or for adjusting the ion position at the null electric field region of the trapping potential, or for millikelvin thermometry, this high resolution imaging system is required. So basically the idea is to correct the aberration so that a very good image quality is formed, and these aberrations mainly arise due to deviation of wavefront when they while they pass through different media. So that aberrated waveform can be represented by this equation, which is a function of basically height, aperture size, and angle. And if this equation is expanded, then we would get different aberration coefficients related to both chromatic and monochromatic aberrations. But obviously we are interested in the monochromatic aberrations, and specifically in our case we are interested in the spherical aberrations, because ours is the case of a point source. And this spherical aberration mainly arises due to variation of the focus with aperture. And so in our case, that equation, considering the spherical aberration, it finally reduces to this form. Now the idea to minimize aberration is to design the optics in such a way that the deteriorated wavefront created by one surface of the lens gets corrected by another surface. So keeping that in mind, we have designed, this is the final design of our imaging system. So here is the collection lens, which has a collection efficiency of 2.7% of the total fluorescence. It is an aspheric lens. We have the objective, which is again an aspheric and achromatic lens. Here the intermediate image will be formed, which will be magnified by this magnifier consisting of an aberration corrector plate and a magnifier. So now, how would we know how whether your system is really a very good imaging system or not? So for that, we have certain parameters like the point spread function, the wavefront error, strial ratio, the most important one, which has to be greater than or equal to 0.8, the resolution, the magnification, and obviously the spherical aberration. So in our system, we want the resolution to be less than or equal to 1.4 micrometer, and the magnification we want greater than or equal to 11. So after simulation of this design using Oslo software, optics simulation for optics software for layout and optimization. So we have come up with these results. So the first result is the point spread function. The red one is the point spread, the PSF at the intermediate image plane, and the outer one is that of the magnified image, and both has a strain ratio greater than 0.8. Moving on, we have this result. So here we have studied the strain ratio and spherical aberration changes with change in the deviation position, and we have find out that changing the position of the magnifier, tunability of plus minus 90 micrometer gives a very good result over an SR of 0.8. Then another thing which we have to keep in mind is the depth of focus and the field of view of the system. So in that, in our case, it turns out to be the depth of focus is 84 micrometer, and the field of view is 36 micrometer. So this can really encompass a large number of large number of trap species. Then the other thing which we have to consider in the system is the manufacturing and the assembly tolerances. So the manufacturing, so here we have studied how changes in the position of the inner aspheric lens can be corrected with the help by optimization of the distances between the objective and the magnifier, and we have found that a change in the inner aspheric lens position from -5 mm to 0.3 mm can give you good results. So this is all about the results corresponding to the wavelength which we are working at, that is 369.5 nanometer lasers. But we have also worked, we have seen its performances at different wavelengths, and we have found that it is very, very compatible over a range of wavelengths from visible to infrared. So this can be used in other experiments as well. So this was all about the results. So basically, we have designed a very good imaging system consisting of having a good collection efficiency, satisfying the Merical's criterion, having it is able to resolve species to a very separated by a very small distance. Spherical aberration is minimized. It is adaptable. The adaptability of the system is really good, and it can work. The manufacturing and assembly tolerances are also give results which are within acceptable limit, and it works in different wavelengths, and it gives a very good large a view of a large ensemble of atoms. So that's all about my poster. Thank you so much for listening.